Now I'm on the third method, which is how to do your brows. Now I'm on with the third method. Now I'm on the third method, which is how to do your brows using an angle tip brush and a pomade. Of course, my favorite, you all know me. The way that I use it is I use this angle tip brush called the... Hello. I am back to continue my series on brows. We are back in session, brow school. So I have gone over now the way to get your brows on using a powder, using an eyeshadow, and the way to do your brows using a pencil. Now we're on the third method, which is how to do your brows using a pomade and an angle tip brush with a spoolie. So my favorite product to use, as you all may already know, is Mascara Beauty, because it gives me this really lovely coverage. It's really light on your skin and gives a beautiful glow. So that's what I have on my face. Everything fits into a compact, and the great thing about every product is that it's multi-use. So lip and cheek is both for your cheeks and your lips, but you could also use it as concealer. There's like a bronzer that you could use as an eyeshadow. Your contours can be used as eyeshadow. Your highlights can be concealers, can be foundation. There's so many uses for them. You can lighten up or darken your lipsticks with the highlights and the contours. And one fun way that I like to use my contours is to use it as a brow pomade. So if you ever get a color match from me, you're more than likely going to get matched with a color that will match your brows as well. I like to either coordinate what you would use for your cheeks would work well for your brows, or I will give you two choices where you have one for your cheeks and one for your brows. So I'm one of the people that has darker brows than I do have a need for a darker contour, so I use a lighter contour. Today I use the color Henna. I used Cindy Honey as my illuminator, and I use a combination of Amber, Sandy, and Aura as a brightener. So to get started, I've already done this a few times. It's Brow School 101, which is measure here, make sure you have your point starting there, go through your pupil, that's where your arch should be, go to the end of your eye, and that's where the end of your eyebrow should be. Make sure it's even this way, and try and make them even this way, and do that on both sides. A good way to start if you don't have any brows is to draw a little dot so that you know about where you need to start and end, and you can kind of connect the dots. So for a brow pomade contour color that I use is the color Cola. It's a very dark brown color. It's a dark brown, but has like ashy undertones, which is good because most of the time our brows aren't like a bright brown or reddish brown. It's very rare that anyone has that sort of tint to their natural brows. They tend to be a little more ashy in nature, and you don't want them to stand out, I mean, unless you want to. So this color works well for me. And the way that I use it is I use this angle tip brush called the Hotline brush. And I start by not applying a ton of product on there. And with a light hand, I trace the bottom of my brow. It could be really easy to go heavy-handed with brow pomade because it's very creamy. Contour or brow pomade tends to be very creamy. It's easy to spread, but also easy to go too heavy-handed. So with the same product that I initially used, I use that to fluff that out. And then use the spoolie to brush that out. I feel like brow pomades and creams, like cream contours, work best for people who already have brows. Unless you have a very fine tip, and a way to make a fine tip is putting extra product on the brush and then brushing it into a fine tip. I don't know if you guys could see that, but that's a way to get your brush to be more fine tipped to, let's see if I could demonstrate, to create more hair-like strokes like that. But if you have less brows and you need a little bit more help in filling in, you might want to go in with a pencil first and then go in with the brow pomade so that you have enough hair-like strokes to kind of work with and not look like you're just painting on, you know, like a big chunky marker. You want your brows to look soft, somewhat feathery. I feel like this works well when you do, there's a trend of soap brows, which is like the feathery brows. Like if you use a brow gel, brush up your brow hairs and then fill in the little gaps with the brow pomade. It works really well. But that's it. That's how I get my brows done using my contour color, Cola. Thanks for watching. See you next time.